Hello, I'm your host, Metabitly, and what's interesting about this? This little guy right here is Mustela putorius fero, also known as a ferret. Today, I'll be giving a general overview about ferrets and answering some of the common questions about these little balls of love. These little guys make pretty amazing, albeit horribly mischievous pets. Curious by nature, ferrets will move, climb, and inspect everything. Yes, everything. Is that a nook? Duke, yeah, I'm gonna go in that. A cranny? Get your spelunking gear, we're going in. Is that your wallet? Well, heck, I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna hide it in this corner until I find out. To be as super playful and high energy as they are, ferrets have a heck of a metabolism. They tend to eat every couple of hours to maintain themselves. As obligate carnivores, ferrets need a diet rich in protein and fat, but low in carbs. As such, foods like vegetables and fruits are not advised. You can choose between a kibble diet similar to other domestic house pets, or a raw meat diet. The raw meat diet is considered king among feeding plans, but is a tremendous amount of work. If feeding a kibble-based diet, make sure to choose a high-quality kitten or ferret kibble. Make sure to check the ingredient list and try to find something with as many protein options in the top 10 as possible. However, ferrets like to imprint on their food at around 6 months old, meaning they'll be picky and only want to eat what they know. It is possible to mitigate this imprinting by exposing them to many good sources of food at a young age, or by switching them to a new food gradually as an adult. Ferrets are sexually dimorphic carnivores, meaning that the males are bigger than the females. The males are called Havs and the females are called Jills. A group of ferrets is called a business. They tend to have very territorial natures and like to dig and burrow. They like to sleep in enclosed spaces. And they like to relieve themselves away from where they eat and sleep. Tend to be pretty clean animals. These critters live to be around 5 to 10 years old depending on health. Unfortunately for ferrets, they tend to have a few very common health diseases. Female ferrets that aren't fixed can go into heat and can actually die from not being bred. A Jill's body will continue to produce hormones until the bone marrow is suppressed, reducing blood cell production and leading to anemia. That's interesting. Canine distemper, although nearly eradicated, is almost completely fatal in ferrets. Adrenal disease, an enlarging of the adrenal glands, which can include tumor growth, generally leads to symmetrical hair loss and loss of muscle tone. Insulinoma is generally caused by pancreatic tumors and leads to hypoglycemia and lethargy. It's suggested that insulinoma occurrence can be reduced by feeding a nutritious diet. Also, gastrointestinal foreign body obstruction, or blockages, can occur in ferrets because they like to eat unusual things. Ferrets love plastics and rubbers, but their delicate stomachs do not.
Yo, so, do ferrets, stink?
First of all, yeah, I mean, they're animals. They can smell really bad if you don't clean up after them, but for the most part, no. Ferrets are often deglanded in the US, meaning they have their anal glands removed, kind of like a skunk. While they can smell, if they're deglanded, they don't tend to. However, there are some other countries that view this as an unnecessary mutilation. So maybe in your country, I don't know, maybe. Do you smell bad?
Hey, do they bite?
Heck yes they do. These little guys are as playful as can be, and they often play by biting. They do learn at a young age the appropriate strength to use when biting for play, and they have fairly thick skin, so it's really not a big deal. However, if a new ferret is introduced to the business, some ferrets like to do exclusionary play, which means biting the neck and death rolling, or biting the skin hard enough to break it and cause the other ferret to bleed. But they would never do that on a human. Would you? Would you?
So, do ferrets have bones?
Yes, they do. I mean, they are super bendy and stuff, but they have a full skeletal structure. I promise.
My ferret likes to make crazy sounds while flinging its body all over. Is he possessed?
Probably not. Ferrets like to do this thing called war dancing, which is like jumping around and flailing the body and crazily making little sounds called dukes. It's just an invitation to play and a release of energy. It's perfectly normal. And last but not least, perhaps the most amazing thing about ferrets is the ferret off button. Just grab them by the scruff of their neck and they turn off. That makes their whole body relax, just like their moms used to do. Ferrets make great pets. They're crazy, a heck of a handful, but totally awesome. And probably the best type of big business don't jump. Ferrets, man. Well, that's about all I have to talk about today. Did you find it interesting? If so, leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell. All that for more interesting content to come. Hopefully. We'll see. No promises, but I'll try. Y'all come back now, you hear? Etc. Okay, bye.